Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be starting a reading vlog. As of right now, I only have one book left for TBR that I need to read, and it's right there. It's In a Garden Burning Gold. So I do want to read that, but before I get to it, I have an arc that is going to be coming out, I believe, later this week. I actually have to check that. That's what I meant to do. It's coming out in 8 days and it's only 350 pages. So my plan is to actually sit down today and try a good few pages of it, maybe get to like 10-20% through and make a decision whether or not I want to read that first or I want to read In a Garden Burning Gold first. So the book that I'm going to be sitting down right now and sampling is Daughter of Red Winter. I saw this book on Instagram. Tor is publishing it. I really fell in love with the cover. I saw that it was adult fantasy and that it had some queer representation, and I requested it on NetGalley. I don't know anything else about the book, so as I read, I will let you guys know some more information. I'll come back to you in a little bit, probably after I've had some lunch and I've tried a decent amount of this book, and let you know what my thoughts are. So unfortunately, right after I left you guys, I've been having a lot of ear pain over the last week, actually since last Friday. I talked about it briefly in my vlog last week. If you watched it, it came back with gusto. So I decided to go to the doctor because I get ear infections in this ear, and the fact that it wasn't going away on its own, the fact that I had been having pain over a week, it was time. So I went to the doctor, and while I was there, I did do some reading. The ear is basically that I have fluid buildup in my membrane. It's not like dangerous or scary or anything because the fluid that's built up it's not looking problematic to him right now. I just got a new jewelry organizer for on top of my dresser. So I'm going to be organizing some jewelry while I talk to you all about Daughter of the Redwood, because I got to 10% through the book while I was waiting at the doctor's office, because every single time I go there, it's going to be a long wait. I'm not enjoying it, and I'm probably gonna stop here, which does mean I'll get to pick up In a Garden Burning Gold. But I kind of want to explain my thoughts and opinions right now. We're following a young girl as our main character. She's 17 years old. It is supposed to be a grim, dark adult fantasy story. It is written by a man. I don't think I looked into it, but I'm willing to bet money right now that it was a white man. The story follows this young girl who, right at the beginning, the book starts out with her kind of escaping this place, and then you later realize it's her home, but when she's escaping, she runs into this woman who's injured in the woods, and you find out that the woman is part of like the enemy people who are fighting them, but the woman is injured and was trying to bring them something. Our woman brings her back and doesn't escape because she's bringing the woman back to safety. It was so confusing. So confusing. Since the book started out with like high action and right in the thick of it, we didn't get to explore the world and we didn't get to understand anything that was really happening. Found myself being really confused. It took me like 4 chapters to even realize that our main character could see ghosts and speak to them, and that this was a weird thing that was like not normal at all that she should be able to do. Things were just like really weirdly developed and really weirdly explained, and I found myself lost and confused for all of it. Our main character I found rather flat. Her husband character I found awful, and he made me so angry multiple times. I kind of think I was supposed to not like him, but I really hated how like pretty much everyone was written in this book. So I was like, I'm not gonna keep forcing myself to read this. And then on top of me like hating him and disliking all the other characters and feeling like a lack of care for our main character, and then like nothing was being explained to me, I didn't like the writing style. It's very to the point and also like full of exposition. Like I don't totally know how to explain that. It's just very flat to me, and it didn't like inspire me or make me interested. I didn't care about anything that was being said, and it didn't like spark anything in me with like the beauty of how it was written. So there was quite literally nothing pulling me in. I think that it's not the worst book ever. I think people could read it and really enjoy themselves. I will not be recommending it, and I will not be continuing on. I will be DNFing at 10%. I am really exhausted right now, going to the doctor and then just trying to get all of this resolved. And then also just ear pain causes exhaustion when it's healing. So I've been laying down for like the last hour, and I'm gonna try to get up and do some stuff, but nothing crazy today. I do need to film at some point today, but honestly, there's a good chance that I just say, I'm so sorry, I'm not filming this week because of this condition, and let a video come out next week instead. I'm gonna go get In a Garden Burning Gold, and I'm gonna start that at some point today. And then I also do need to pick out an audiobook for this week. I haven't done that yet. I have some ideas. I have 3 books out from my library that I'm pretty interested in all of them. Once I decide which one I'm gonna be going forward with, I'll let you all know. I don't know if I have talked about it yet this week at all. I know I haven't talked about it this week. Oh my God. I haven't been feeling very good this week, first off, which is why I haven't really spoken to you guys since Monday. Just between my ear and everything else, it's just been a long week. Reading is going well, and I will update you on that. Not during this clip, but very shortly. I promise I will have things to say. I have been reading books, but I don't know if I have said in my vlogs anytime recently, or even actually at all, but my brother and sister-in-law are expecting a child. They have been expecting a child for a little bit over 8 months now. The baby was supposed to be due like mid-July, and I just got a text right now, the 23rd of June, that she's in labor. So we're kind of like not going up to the hospital at this moment because we're waiting to see what they say about, you know, COVID hospitals. I might not even be able to like sit in the waiting room today. She's at the doctor, she's figuring things out. They're at the hospital. They're at the hospital. And I'm waiting to get a phone call telling me whether or not I can go to the hospital to wait for the baby. It could be like a long process, it could be a short process. Like, just because you go into hard labor doesn't mean the baby's coming in the next hour. There's like horrible storms going through my town right now. I'm freaking out a little bit, in case you cannot tell. We're very excited to welcome my new nephew into the world and to see him hopefully tonight, hopefully. The rest of tonight will be me filming on my phone, which means quality and sound are gonna be a little bit down. I just went to the $1.25 store and picked us up a bunch of snacks because it is 8 p.m. right now, and they're saying that she's not been induced yet. So what happened is, when I last talked to you guys, we thought she was going into labor. She wasn't, but she wasn't like stopping some of the process that's part of labor. So they were gonna send her home, and then her water broke more. So they're like, okay, we're just gonna induce her. So that was about 2 hours ago, and they still, I don't think, haven't induced her. So they said I could come up. So I stopped, got snacks, soda, whatever. They said I had to go through the emergency exit. So we're gonna go on a little journey here and gonna try to find this bad boy. Let's go. This would be important. My mom just texted me and said that she wanted me to bring playing cards, but I'm already here, so she's not gonna get that. I don't think I can turn you guys around, but that's the hospital. That's actually where I was born. Fun fact. So I gotta go find the emergency room. Then we'll be good. Yeah. The emergency room has like a red sign, I'm pretty sure. That feels promising. We're going to room number 4. Floor. Going to work to get started. It's been about 2 hours. I just came down to try and find my brother's phone charger. Okay. They're saying that it's probably gonna be another 4 hours, at least until we see anything happening. So it's 10 o'clock right now, which means early morning. But she is progressing a lot faster than they thought. So also it could be a lot quicker than we're thinking. I have the goods. I'm gonna go back. I'm sitting in the room until she goes into hard labor, and then I will be leaving for the waiting room because they don't want me to see all of that. But my mom apparently wants to see all of that and is allowed to, so I'll just be chilling. There's like 6 babies that have been born today, but they're probably saying that the baby will be born tomorrow. Okay, so I found a waiting room because I was here until 2 a.m. last night. 2. I went home, slept for about 3 hours, came back. Oh, I woke up around like 5:45, and texted them, and like nothing had changed since I had left. So I stayed at home and like set up some stuff on my Etsy for a little bit, and then they were telling me things have progressed, so I got breakfast and I brought it to the fam. Shortly after that, I had to leave because she is pushing. So I'm just gonna sit here probably less than an hour, to be honest, and then once the baby comes, see them all, make sure they're all good, and then I will be going and getting lunch for everyone. So I'm sitting here editing this video, and I realized I never came back and told you guys that Friday. The baby was born on Friday, June 24th, so he was healthy, perfectly fine. I got to hold him, see him, be with him for a while, and then I went home Friday afternoon. I think it was around like 2, and I came home and I was home for maybe 10 minutes and a giant storm hit and I lost power for a few hours. So I napped for part of that, and then I just like kind of laid in bed for the rest because like I couldn't go on my phone and I didn't have power and it was dark outside, so I couldn't read. And I ended up listening to an audiobook, but the baby's doing well. He is home now, and I don't think I talk about him much more in the rest of this video. So just know that he is wonderful, and I've seen him a few times, and he's doing really, really well. And I'll definitely talk about him more in future vlogs. But this one, I was just kind of out of it for most of this vlog. Good morning, it's Saturday. I am home. I really need to get some work done today, so it's going to be an audiobook day, but I feel like it's time I finally tell you what I have been reading. Kind of, I think I only finished one book this last week that we haven't talked about, so we'll talk about that one, and then I'll go into what I'm actively reading, and then I'll go into the audiobook that I plan on starting today. Well, I DNF'd a book last week. We're not even going to bother talking about that because my DNF video is going to be coming out really shortly. This video I feel like is already going to be rather long since it's 2 weeks. Now instead of 1 week. As of yesterday, I officially decided to make it 2 weeks because I realized like I have some time to edit this weekend, even with the baby, but I have no content for you all. Like, hospital content's it. Finished up a book yesterday, literally yesterday. I was working on it last week, but I came home yesterday, I lost power, so I put my headphones on, I listened to the audiobook, and I sat and played random shit on my phone because where I live, it was too dark to physically read, which is what I wanted to do. Downstairs, I don't really have much light at all, and then upstairs, it was way too hot to just like sit, and because it was storming so bad, I couldn't open up my windows and get any air circulation, so I was stuck to audiobooks. And I have been reading Wicked Beauty, I should mention that, and I finished it yesterday, and this one was really conflicting for me. So I've been reading this series by Katie Roberts with a friend, and we've been having a good time, and once again I had a good time reading this book. I would definitely recommend it. You know, like if you're into that, it had some good qualities. I ended up rating book 1 a 2.5. I ended up rating book 2 a 3-star, and I ended up rating this one a 2.5. But I think I liked this one more than book 1, and that simply comes down to this very unpopular opinion, which is I am not a Hades and Persephone fan. Like, I think they're fine, but I'm not like obsessed with them in any way whatsoever. And I also really liked having a throuple in this book. So apparently that's something I'm into. Haven't read one before, but I really liked that aspect. So if you don't want to know who the couple is, you're probably going to just have to skip all of this, to be honest. Wicked Beauty is about Achilles, Patroclus, and Helen in this like made up contemporary fantasy world, which is completely unexplained, and I don't know how anything works. And this book like brought up this idea of a barrier or a border or something, and I'm like, what? And it also like, I'm not sure if they're like actual monsters, but they mentioned like people who weren't Olympians, but like Olympians don't have powers, so I'm really confused how they're different than normal people, unless it's literally like, I'm from the United States, so I call myself American, and like people elsewhere are not. Like, is it a literal difference between these people, or is it just like a symbolic difference between these people? I have no clue. I have no clue. This book doesn't answer any questions. This series doesn't answer any questions. And she's overarching this plot between all of the series. There's going to be 10 books. She announced on Instagram rather recently the couples from each of the books. And I'm really excited about some of them. I'm excited about some of them more than others. The next book is coming out in February. This one like came out this month. So she's cranking them out, and I'm excited to read them. I think the smut she does a really good job with. I'd say though that like characters get together really freaking easily. The sex is like almost too perfect, and like the men are so caring, and I love reading that. But after reading like a couple of her books, there's a type. She has a type, and it's enjoyable to read, but I don't think I could ever read a bunch of her books back to back to back because it's kind of the same. So what I'm trying to say basically is, if you're going into a structured book, this is not it. If you're going into a well-developed world building, character building book, this is not it. If you're going into a book just to have a good time, this is a great book for you to read. If you're going into a series wanting to have a good time, I don't think this is a series that you would be able to binge past like maybe 3 books, because they are very repetitive and very much the same. And while I enjoyed having a throuple in this book, which made things different, it really did kind of boil down to so much sameness. I enjoyed myself. There were parts I really disliked. There were parts that actually I was pretty angry at in this book, and I haven't felt that way in one of her books yet. But there were also parts that I really liked. Achilles was not my cup of tea, and there were some actions and decisions he made that really upset me, specifically in how he treated Patroclus. The way his relationship was with Helen, I didn't necessarily mind so much, but I felt like for them having been together for all these years, and then he just, I'm not going to say what, but like how he treated Patroclus in a few instances like made me furious. That's my review of Wicked Beauty. Now the other book is in my room, but I have the dust jacket here, so I'll grab that. I've been reading In a Garden Burning Gold this week as well, and this has also been a journey, but this has almost been a journey in a different direction. Like, I am really close to halfway. I wanted to be farther where I'm at, but I haven't read in like 2 or 3 days because of baby. So I'm totally okay with that. It's fine. But I would like to get a decent amount of time to sit and read this today. So that is like part of my plans for today, is to just sit and read, because I am actually loving it. I can now officially say that. I couldn't say it before because I wasn't sure. This is such a weird book. So I'll start with what it's about, and then I'll go into like why it's kind of hard to talk about. And I did talk about this a little bit on TikTok. If you're from there, you already know my thoughts. In a Garden Burning Gold is about these 2 twins. Their father is this ruler of this certain area of land. Because he became the ruler, he has magical abilities, which he is allowed to bestow some on his children. So he has 4 kids. We're following the 2 oldest, which are the twins. And the oldest is the son, and he has the ability to embroider every night the night sky into fabric, and it helps control the tides and the waves and the storms that will wreck their land or will not wreck their land. And our main daughter has the ability to change the seasons, but the way she changes the seasons is she has to marry a consort from one of the lands in their region, and she stays with that consort for as long as they want the season to last, and then at the end, when they want the season to change, she kills them, because it can be a man or a woman that she's with. At the very beginning, has just killed her last husband, and she has come back to the house, and she is waiting because it's going to be about a week until the new consorts show up. And so her father and her older brother are telling her what she should do and telling her how she should act when the new consorts come. Her father is very demanding, very controlling, very abusive. And her older brother is going to be the next in line. Thing I didn't mention is these people live for hundreds of years. So the father will be in line for a very long time. And then one day he will have to give up his seat to his children. He is training his oldest son to be the next ruler. And he is basically just using his daughter to do whatever he wants her to do. Gets in the new consorts. The father wants her to choose one boy. It's a very good decision because that man will... the place that he's from will have really good connections with the father and help their city, which is struggling right now because a lot of people want to rebel against the father. And the brother wants her to choose a different man because that man, their people have never sent a consort before, and he basically had to write them and like beg them to come. And he wants her to go with him, the consort, to his land so that she can spy on the people there because they are building up a revolution and he wants to know all of the details. And he thinks if he sends his sister there, it will not only get him all of the information that he needs to about the spies, but she will also kill the consort at the end of that, like destroying the revolution. So that's kind of like the base of the story, right? I'm going to set this down now, but you know what I'm talking about. So it took me a little bit to get into the story. It's very heavily political. It's very heavily, it's slow writing. It's very descriptive, but it's not like overly descriptive because a lot of the magic is left up to interpretation. There's this whole entire food creation that there's this one specific type of food, I can't remember the name, where when you make it though, you can put your memories into it, and when someone else eats it, they can experience that memory. So there's like all of this beautiful magic, and it's amazing to read about, but it's so slow getting through this book. But I am simping. I'm not going to tell you which consort the daughter decides to go with. There are good reasons for her to go with either one of them. There are bad reasons for her to go with either one of them. But the one she decides to go with, things don't go quite as planned. And it's like I'm reading an arranged marriage, forced proximity trope, enemies to lovers. And I don't know if they're going to actually be lovers yet where I'm at, but I feel like that's where it's going. And even if they're not, even if they just become friends or allies, like I am here for it. And I also I was flipping to the back because I feel like this book needs a glossary because there are a lot of words that aren't in English, and you kind of start to pick up on what some of them mean, but a lot of them aren't like told to you what they mean. And I don't know if they're real words from another language because it's never been said, or if they're like made up words. So I haven't Googled them, but I was looking for a glossary at the back to help understand these words, and I accidentally saw something at the end. So I'm really excited for that because I know there's going to be a huge betrayal at the end, and I love dramatic betrayals. I think they're so much fun. I'm just really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying the slowness of the story and the like slow ride of it and just the building up of the characters. I will say there are two POVs, our main girl and our main boy, and I definitely care about our main girl more than I care about his name is Lexos. I just really am loving this book right now. I don't think it's for everyone. It reminds me a little bit of Priory of the Orange Tree, if I had to compare it to something, just because of the slow, heavy political nature, and then also kind of this underlying, is it a romance, is it not a romance? But Priory did a lot of things that kept me from rating it a 5-star. I rated it 4 stars. I do enjoy that book. I do plan on rereading it this year. In preparation for the prequel, which is going to be even bigger. It reminds me slightly of that, but where I am at, I might be rating In a Garden Burning Gold 5 stars. So I finally picked out my next audiobook, so let's have a quick little chat about it and why I ended up picking it, because it's kind of a funny story. I was on TikTok recently, and this woman was talking about how she teaches I believe she called it a cults class, basically about cults in literature and media, and how a lot of people right now are saying that how America is going, how America is just like The Handmaid's Tale, which I have read, and I agree with that assessment. I know we're not like in Gilead yet, but the first initial steps that Gilead took to become the country it was are the first steps that we are taking right now. She was talking about how a lot of people will relate what is currently happening in America to The Handmaid's Tale. Yes, but how she thought that we were not at The Handmaid's Tale, that we were at Parable of the Sower by Octavia E. Butler. Now, I've read one other Octavia E. Butler, and I quite enjoyed that book a lot. It's the one where she travels back in time and like meets her great descendant, and he's a slave owner, and it's Kindred. Kindred is the book. So I wanted to read Parable of the Sower next, and I checked it out at my library. Now, I'm currently doing a readathon with my book club where you have to read certain prompts at certain times and everything. And the prompt I have to read this last week didn't fit for Parable of the Sower. So I was looking through other books. It took me like 30 minutes of looking, and I couldn't find anything that I wanted to read that fit it. And then finally I was like, let's look up Octavia E. Butler's like other books, other covers. Let's see if I can find anything on the cover that'll fit into what I'm trying to do right now. And I came across Wild Seed, which one of the covers did fit with what I needed to read. So I decided to pick it up. It's not too long. I think it's like 11 hours, and I have started it. I believe I'm 30% through right now. Let's check that out. Oh, JK. I'm 40% through the book right now. It is not long, like I said, and I have recently started listening to books at 2.2 speed instead of 2 times speed, which I know like is not a big difference at all, but it affects things slightly. The premise of the book, I'm sorry about my washer and dryer, but the premise of the book is that there is this woman who is a shapeshifter, and basically an immortal shapeshifter, has lived for hundreds of years. I think she said like 300 years. And then there is this man who has magical abilities, so he can take over the bodies of anyone around him and like transfer his soul from body to body, leaving like a wake of dead people in his path. And he has also been living for a very long time, longer than the woman. I don't remember how long he has been alive, but a very long time. He comes across her one day. They are both Black people living in Africa. I'm believing the time period to be around the 1700s, maybe 1800s. And he is obsessed with the idea of building and growing the greatest people ever. So while he has been alive, he has been collecting people from across the globe and breeding with them to try and get the strongest descendants. And then once he breeds with them, he has like all of his people breed with each other, and he keeps them secluded and safe and separate. And he comes across this woman and realizes how powerful she is, that she's similar to him, if not just like him. She is not a descendant of his, and he wants her because he thinks that she can help build the bloodline. And so she agrees to go with him back to America, see his people. Now, while she and him are traveling back, there are lots of things they come across and lots of discussions had. A lot of the discussions have to do with race, slavery, cannibalism, savage versus civilized people. There's a lot of different languages and different beliefs that are seen and used and talked about and discussed in this book. It's fascinating, but I feel like where I'm at, I'm missing the point. So I need to like look into this book. I know this is a book, just like almost all of Octavia E. Butler's books, they are oftentimes used in classrooms and in discussions. So I need to find like some online course where a teacher, a professor spoke about this book and kind of look a little bit more into what they have to say about it, because I feel like where I'm at, the book is like okay. I'd probably give it like a 3-star. I could see it getting worse. I could see it getting better. Some of the things that are being said, I don't like. Some of the things that are being said, I do like. I don't know if Octavia E. Butler is doing either of them on purpose or not. So I just need to research.
Doro said recently. Isaac rubbed a hand across his forehead. I don't think I would feel this nervous if she were giving birth. She's such a little thing, so like Anyanu.
I was just about to sit down to film, but I got a notification that an Amazon box came and I think it's Glow. And I'm not taking you guys with me because my neighbors are nosy AF.
2 very boring minutes later.
I got a package. It's hot outside. Welcome to Florida. Hi, hello. I got new glasses. I'm trying to get used to them. So I got some stickers. So this wasn't supposed to come until July 1st. The book's been published for a while and I've been really upset because like people have been reading it and reviewing it, and how do I open this? Mine got delayed for some reason, and then they told me like July 1st and then they told me June 30th, and then I was just like about to sit down with you guys, so I decided to check Amazon real quick and it said that it arrived. It did! Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's big. I knew it was going to be. It's like 700 and something pages. I can't read it right now. I wanted to be able to read it right when it came, but freaking... I'm in the middle of In a Garden Burning Gold, and I'm really loving that, so I want to finish that up first. I have to restock my 9th house stickers, which, here you guys go. Someone bought all of them, so I'm gonna have these in my shop. I'm probably gonna repost them today. I really just want to read Glow right now. So none of this is what I was going to come and talk to you about. Let's give me a minute to get settled, and then we'll come back and chit chat, okay? Bye. Okay, so I really, really need to read In a Garden Burning Gold. All I want to do is sit down and read Glow. Like literally all I want to do, but this was for my June TBR. Although Glow also originally for my May TBR. Maybe I should read, no. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I want to set a timer. I either want to do it for 60 minutes or 90 minutes, and I just want to sit and read this book and get as far into it as I can in that time. I'm kind of getting a headache right now, and I think some of it's been from my audiobook that I've been listening to, plus like I've been running around and cleaning and doing a lot of like really intense work while listening to an audiobook at like a really high speed, and I just took my contacts out and I've been on my phone a lot because I found this freaking game where you get cats to make you soup. I think if I just like sit in like a not dark but maybe like a dimly lit room, maybe I'll go on my porch if it's not too hot and read this for a while, that could help. And then after I do that, it'll be dinner time. I'll have dinner, I'll chill out, and then if I'm still feeling like reading, I'll make the decision either to keep going with this or I will allow myself to start Glow. But I'm at page 200 now, and I'd really like to get to page 300, and I feel like if I gave myself an hour and a half, I could get to page 300, but I might need like slightly more time. I don't know. As you guys got to see, my washer broke. It's still working, but like the part inside that spins broke and it like fell on its side. So like it still washes clothes, although I'm not going to use it right now, but my dad came over to look at it and try to see if he can fix it. He can, but he has to order a part, so I'm going to be without a washer for a little bit. I did like do half of my laundry yesterday, so I have half that's not done. And I always have the option of going over to my grandma or my parents' house, so I might do that this week at some point. New baby is home from the hospital. He's doing quite well. His brother met him Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember which day he went over there, and I didn't get to see it, but from what I heard, it was quite humorous. He was like, whomst is this? He wasn't, you know, horrible or mean or like anything like that, but he definitely like wanted his parents and like wasn't understanding a baby. He's 3, right? Other news, I did finish Wild Seed by Octavia E. Butler. I didn't love it. I looked up a lot of the themes and I understand what they were trying to say, and I really like some of the things Octavia E. Butler said in this book. I think they were very good, but I did not like some of the things she said in this book, and I will not be quitting Octavia E. Butler by any means. I really want to read Parable of the Sower. That'll probably be coming up. Can say like the theme I liked in this book was her commentary on cultural differences between different people and how certain things can look barbaric to anyone from the outside. For instance, you know, a lot of white people, especially at this time, but through all times, have seen Black African culture as savage or barbaric, and they even mentioned Native Americans in this book as well. But this woman who was born and raised in Africa and brought to America and sees people drinking the milk of beasts and how barbaric and savage that was to her, and how that was like an affront to her gods and her culture. I loved, there was like commentary like that throughout. I really enjoyed it. The main part of the book though was about loneliness and was about power and how men versus women take and use power. I did not like how either of those topics were discussed or used or resolved. I could have been more okay if they had resolved better, but I did not like how they were resolved. I feel like the idea of loneliness is such a great theme to discuss, and instead of saying things like, oh, our main guy is really lonely because he's the only immortal, and then he one day found this also other immortal, and the two of them together like went to find other immortals, they tried to just breed more immortals. And I hated all of the commentary on breeding that there was in this book, which also related back to gender and some of the conversations there. And I felt like our main woman, while yes, she was powerful, I felt like her power was very passive. I feel like she could have been done better. I ended up rating it 2.5 out of 5 stars, and I'm really excited to try Parable of the Sower next. I'm just sitting here reading my book, and then Rory Power decided to do that. Oh, I have about 90 pages left, and I cannot believe she just did what she did. Absolutely, like, that, I didn't see that coming. Like, I knew there was a giant twist at the end. This is not that giant twist. This is like a crazier twist. This is a crazy, it is 8:11. I wanted to finish this today, but it is definitely like slow going. This book is like, it takes me more than a minute for each page. So I've just been like slowly getting through it. But after that, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to stop until I finish this book. And then there's no sequel yet. Guys, I don't want to spoil anything at all for you, but someone very important to the story just died. I can't believe she did that. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading. And hopefully I won't cry, but we'll see. I want to keep going so bad. I only have 14 pages left, but I'm so freaking tired. I'm legit rereading almost every sentence I have, so I'm gonna go to bed and I'm gonna wake up early and I'm gonna finish this book. 14 pages, first thing in the morning. Happy Thursday. I haven't talked to you guys in a while because I just haven't been like feeling the best. Just kind of in a lot of like general pain. I guess this is just my life now. I wasn't even gonna come and talk to you guys tonight because I actually am like starting to get a migraine, but I realized like how freaking long it's been since I've talked to you. So last we spoke, I was attempting to finish this book, and then I had 15 pages left and I fell asleep, and then I woke up the next morning and I finished it, and I really, really enjoyed it. I don't have my glasses on either. Oh, I have my old glasses here. We'll just wear these for right now so I can see you. Heavily enjoyed reading this book. I was going to give it a 5-star until the end, and then there were a couple of things at the end I didn't really love, And so I rated it a 4.5, but it is one of the highest 4.5s that I've ever given, and I will be gushing about this book, and I wouldn't be shocked if it made it on my favorites of the year at the end of the year. I really liked it. I've already made 3 videos about it on TikTok. If you want to see like some more details, if you want to know the 3 things that kind of kept me from rating it a 5-star, I have a video specifically about that on my page, so you can go check all of that out. As soon as I finished this, picked up Glow next, and as of right now I am 126 pages in. It's a very quick, easy read. I'm not as in love with this as I was with the first 3, so in case you're unaware what this book is, it is Raven Kennedy's Plated Prisoner series. This is the 4th book. It's the one that just came out. I've been so excited and so ready to read this one. I rated book 1 through 3 a 5-star. I don't think this one's going to be a 5-star, but I think it's going to be a 4-star, and I'm really enjoying my read of it. I'm just not absolutely obsessed with it like I was with the first 3. Some of that could be like I'm in a different mood now, but I think a lot of it has to do with this book so far is not focused on Arin and her struggle to overcome King Midas. It's more about other characters seeing the aftermath of the decisions that were made in Gleam. It's got Raven Kennedy's like easy writing style. It's got like some enjoyable characters. If you're a fan of ACOTAR, you're probably gonna really like this. It is a lot darker. It is a dark fantasy romance. And when I say dark, like I mean it. There are lots of trigger warnings in these books, and that's some of why I enjoyed it a lot more, because I do prefer darker fantasy. But it also does have that romance. It does have smut. It's just like a fun ride, but not having our main character, whom I really enjoy reading from, as the main character. Like, she is the main character, but she's not spoken once yet where I'm at, has been kind of rough for me. If you're curious what the first few books are about, we are following this character named Arin, who is a gold-touched woman. So King Midas, it is a King Midas retelling, is the king of the realm. There are 7 realms in this land, and he is one of the rulers, and he has the ability to touch things and turn them to gold. And one day he took his favorite girl and turned her to gold and basically turned her into a prostitute at his palace, and we are following her as she is stuck as a slave there. And one of the biggest trigger warnings I can give is Stockholm Syndrome. It's a huge factor, not in book 1, but in later books. You do get another love interest, and I do love him so much. We've seen their relationship be such a slow build. I just like where it's going and where it's at, and it's just like a really fun, even with how dark it is, it's just like a fun read. I feel like I want to apologize to you all because the past 2 weeks, physical and mental health have been so low that I haven't wanted to be on camera. So I feel like beyond me at the hospital waiting for the birth of my nephew, this video has been like mediocre. I want to apologize, but I'm not going to, because mental health is real and I needed some time away, and I'm glad I could make this a 2-week vlog so there would at least be something for you all to see. But if you're still watching in this video, if you could like send me a heart or a like or something, that would be really nice. Things are just kind of rough right now, and I know they're rough literally everywhere, especially in the United States right now. Things are gonna get better, but right now they kind of suck. So today's Friday, it's my day off. I'm actually gonna cut off the vlog this morning because this weekend I am gonna have some fun things. I have a 4-day weekend. I mean, today I'm gonna be working on my shop and everything, but I'm not in like my desk job. But this vlog I feel like is pretty long, even without me talking all that much. Who knows, maybe I talked way more than I thought I did. I will see you all in the next video. I hope that you're all having a much better time than I am, and happy July. July on my channel means Intimidating Reads Month, so get really excited for the next 2 Friday videos. That's gonna be it for today, for this week, for this video. So thank you all for watching. I do appreciate each and every one of you so much. Like, it really means a lot to me that you guys watch these videos or like them or subscribe to me or whatever you do. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye.